We all know how important it is to plan ahead, and that data-driven plans are a vital tool for any organization. So I'm pleased to say that joining us now to discuss the importance of market intelligence, we have Monique Rezaei from Microsoft and Tim Troast from Legrand. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
How's it looking so far? Have you had a chance to sort of look around on the show floor and sort of walk about?
Just a little bit, maybe like a quick preview, but it's been great. It's going to be a good day.
Some incognito action last night.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you'll get your steps in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can we start off by just talking about what the culture of data use is in each of your organizations? Monique,
Sure.
if you want to kick off.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, at Microsoft, everything we do evolves around data. And luckily, we're fortunate to have all kinds of data sources to leverage. And so I'm really big on making informed decisions on data, on the business regarding data. But I also like to look at multiple sources of market intelligence as well. So obviously, we use the IOTA data that AVIXA provides. We have Forrester data, Gartner. Microsoft produces the Microsoft Work Trend Index every year that surveys over 30,000 people in 180 countries. And so I like to take all of that, compare the notes, talk with our partners, gain their insights, and then really use that to build our plans and our decision making.
Absolutely. Tim, is it a similar thing at Legrand?
Very much so. Same thing as to what Monique said, but we also use many industry data sources, third party, and conduct primary research, because there's times where you need a layer deeper than what standardized reports, kind of the old Pareto 80-20 rule, and that amplifies our intelligence and helps us make strategic decisions.
Absolutely.
And how does the data that you're getting, how does that help inform your business and how you are using this market intelligence to make a difference within your organizations?
Yeah, you know, especially in my space specifically, you know, we've been on this Teams Rooms journey for 4 years. My entire business was built out of the pandemic, right? And so things are changing so rapidly that we have to have multiple sources. We have to check it regularly. You know, in our QBRs with our partners even, we're comparing their data and their insights that they're seeing. And some of that prompts us to ask other questions, right? Like, you know, about 2 years into our journey, we saw some trends around real estate that we were trying to figure out. We didn't know what was going on, but we knew there was some sort of stalling happening because people were trying to figure out their real estate strategy, right? And their leases that they're trying to finish out and things like that. And so we turned to AVIXA in one of our global partner meetings, and we're talking about all the real estate trends. What are you all seeing from a real estate perspective? The type of real estate companies are using, how they're consolidating, what their leases look like, occupancy rates, things like that. And we look at it at a global level to kind of figure out where these trends are coming from to make decisions. So it's pretty cool.
And then zooming a layer deeper, we got to make strategic decisions. And I think we're all at a show super excited about the health and the energy of this industry. You can try to do everything. You'll most likely fail. So get the data, make strategic decisions of what you're doing, more importantly, what you're not doing, and then double down your investments on those opportunities around your core competencies. And that's what we do day in and day out with my team.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So what are you looking to find out in terms of what informs your research questions while you're actually here at the show? Because obviously this is a perfect opportunity to walk around, listen to conversations, visit sessions, visit partners, visit other manufacturers, whatever it might be. What are you kind of hoping to find out, or at least looking to when it comes to your research questions?
Yeah, you want to take that first?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of casual conversations. You don't know what you don't know until
Absolutely.
somebody starts talking about it. A lot of unaided, unprompted questions, and then you find themes, right? You can stitch together different data points from many different sources, manufacturers, customers, distributors, and start to hone in on what trends you really want to research deliberately, and that will guide you to your sources.
Yeah, I think we're looking for customer trends as well, right? Like kind of some buying patterns, some habits. What are some of the themes that we're going to take out of this week? There's still a lot that we're trying to figure out around kind of the future of the workplace and how much more it's going to grow. Obviously, we've seen great growth over the last 4 years, but there's still, and it's still going, right? Don't get me wrong. But just trying to figure out kind of what's important right now, and what are they thinking about when it comes to hybrid work and AI in the room, AI on the PC, and how all that comes together with the hardware and the technology.
Yeah, and I guess with the kind of what you don't know side of things, I guess it's important to have multiple team members on the floor gathering bits and pieces, and then kind of coming back for a bit of a get together, and sort of, because you don't always know what will end up being important in terms of the trends and the stuff that you hear, right?
Yeah.
We have all different things top of mind. We all have different bias, and so we have a team out scouting the show floor, looking at competitors, other manufacturers, talking to different customer segments, and we aggregate that data post-show. We do a debrief. We start to ideate trends, use design thinking methodologies to hone in on key opportunities for the business.
Yeah.
And speaking about trends, you know, there's always something new, right? And there's always a new set of data. What type of timescales do you work with to make sure that you're always dealing with the most relevant and recent data? Because
I would say probably weekly. We're looking at it, especially in the collaboration space post-pandemic. It just changes so quickly. And we're always trying to figure out the next thing. And so I would say whether it's an IOTA report or our internal research or Gartner, we're comparing notes and comparing insights on a regular basis.
Great.
Yeah, you rewind back 2 years ago, we couldn't get data fast enough.
Yeah.
By the time when you conducted the research and then analyzed the research, too much happened in that window of time. So it was constantly trying to get ahead of it. You know, as the world hopefully starts to get a little more boring, we'll be able to use data that's a little bit older, synthesize conclusions, and you know, maybe a little crystal ball to figure out what the future of work looks like.
That's a great point, though, because he's right. Like 2 years ago, we couldn't wait for data. So that's why we were like picking each other's brains and insights everywhere, because it just, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Calling all of our, you know, our colleagues.
And I'll say that's why we have the network, right? We talk to one another and understand who's researching what, because we collectively lift up the industry, the old rising tide analogy, and it's been extremely helpful having partners that are extremely trustworthy and transparent in the research they do.
I'm interested though as well to find out, because obviously, you know, refreshing data is very, very important. Just for my own curiosity, is there any data that you don't need to refresh? Are you just like, right, this is the base thing? Like, anyone trying to sell me new data on this topic is like, yeah, no, I don't need it. Or is it always the case that newer is better?
I feel like right now newer is critical.
Yeah.
Not just better, it's critical. Yeah.
This is a tough one, but I do think there is value in going back and looking at 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What happened in 2019 to 24 might give you some indicators of how the world has transpired, products, decision making, channel trends, whatever your business is focused on, you want to understand how that's evolved over 5 years. Because inevitably history is some indicator of future.
So not necessarily looking at old data as gospel, but actually just making sure you can compare and contrast it to what we see now to see how far it's moved.
Agreed.
Right. They say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, but also that potentially a lot of knowledge in the wrong hands can be a dangerous thing. How do you guard against that in your organization, making sure that the right people have the data and that they're using it in the right way?
Yeah, you know, I think it's, speaking for my team, right, we all have access to a lot of great data, and everyone knows how to pull out and extract properly. I think it's also critical to understand the sources of the data and what was pulled and what was researched to get that data, to give us a perspective of where it came from. But yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Everyone's responsibly using it today, but you're right. In the wrong hands, it could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, we're not doing heart surgery or sending rockets to the moon, so if people synthesize information a little inaccurately, we at least have to be happy that they're coming at it with the right intent, they're using data-informed decisions as part of their rationale for what's evolving on their roadmap. But we have learned valuable lessons in what information we provide to the team, what we keep to ourselves as an analytics team, and what guidance we provide the organization and how to use different data sources, because they can synthesize incorrect conclusions, and you never want to be in front of an executive and challenging the the root data.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never a good thing. Well, great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much indeed for joining us. And if people want to get in touch with you while you're at the show to continue these conversations, maybe share some insights that they have, what's the best way of them doing so?
Yeah, probably LinkedIn. Monique Rezaei on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim?
Yeah, LinkedIn or Twitter at Timothy Troast.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Well, Monique,
Thank you
Tim,
so
yeah,
much.
thank you so much for joining us. We wish you a
Thank
great
you for having
show.
us.
Only just
Same.
starting, so maybe we'll catch you at the end of the week, hopefully just as much full of energy and with some valuable insights.
Yes,
Fingers crossed.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Pleasure.
Thank you all.